No, you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be your B-I-T-C-H.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Zaria.
And I'm Maika.
And this is Calmingthechaos and
Justy Podcast.
Collaboration.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's get into it. As you see, we have a guest, Justice. Give it up for him.
Applause. Yes.
Yes. We will be talking about mental health in men, part 2 to our first video, and gender roles in society today, and it's gonna be a juicy one, so buckle up.
Listen, we're getting
You're
into
for
some
a
things.
wild ride.
Yes.
All right,
right.
Justice. Why don't you tell us some, about yourself?
Oof, I hate that question even in dating.
I know. I was maybe I could word it differently, but
my name is Justice. I'm 26. I'll tell you what I tell everybody. I'm Justice. I'm 26. I'm a Cancer, but not in a bad way. And I am a manager of a group home during the day, but I have my little podcast where I talk about honestly anything and everything that people want to do. And I'm an animal lover and very heavy on the human rights and the social justice, which is why my name is Justice, fairness and equality, heavy on that. And yeah, that's about it.
All right.
And I'm a party.
We will have his podcast information in the description. So go check him out and listen to what he got to say.
After you check them out, okay?
Yes.
You got
they should already be here.
That part. You got here first, so you better
attendance check down below.
Check.
Just
I'm
put here.
I'm stealing that. I hope you know. Attendance check.
Okay.
Just in the comments, put here. That way we know you were here.
Present,
who's
hand
watching.
up emoji, all of it.
All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the gender roles in society. Okay. So I have a few things just to basically go off. We're going to throw it back a few hundred years. So
that's fine, because I'm throwing it back a few thousand when we get over here.
Okay. So this also can go for like schools too, and like dress codes and stuff like that also. But like how like girls and women are generally like expected to dress more feminine or like more put together and be polite, accommodating, and nurturing, when men are expected to dress more masculine and not really wear like dresses or anything like that is supposed to be leaning more towards the girl side and be strong, aggressive, and bold. Which for me, based off of this, I definitely feel like I'm more of a man then, because I'm definitely strong, aggressive, and bold, but I also am girly. So
like when you say that, I think about how like society feels like when a man and another man are in a relationship, or a woman and another woman are in a relationship, they have to label one as the man and one as the woman. That's because that's just the way society thinks. It has to be a man or a woman. It can't just be a man and a man. It can't just be a woman and a woman. I am so sorry for my fucking cat being mad annoying if you can hear her. But
I have 4 cats and they are out the room, and I agree with everything you're saying, and I'm a piggyback off of it heavily, because when you get into that relationship too, when you get the one that is more predominantly by societal expectations seen as the man of the relationship, therefore even in a man and man relationship, even if you don't ask for it, the person who feels that way because of society will automatically start treating you like that gender as well. So if you are the man in the relationship, I'm gonna air quote all of this. So from now until I'm done talking, I'm done air quoting. So if you are seen as the man in the relationship, you are going to act like the man in the relationship, and you're going to treat your partner like the female in the relationship. And therefore, if you are the female in the relationship, you are more therefore going to go to the man in the relationship and then subdue, which also therefore opens up a whole nother problem of why is the woman automatically in the relationship submissive? That's just
That's because men want their women to be submissive. So when you put it in like gender roles, like in a straight relationship, man and woman, usually the man is like the hard, tough one, and the woman is the more quiet, submissive one, like Zaria said. But the man just has to have the power. He just feels like he has to have the power. So when you think about it, in a man and man relationship, and a woman relationship, whoever has the power, whoever wears the pants in the house, whoever's the breadwinner, automatically becomes the man in the relationship. But the one who's seen as less than is the woman, and it shouldn't be that way. And women shouldn't be seen as less than. And this is what we've been fighting for fucking forever, so that we can be seen as equal, or hell, better than a man.
And the women are supposed to deal with all the feelings and all the extra stuff, and the man is supposed to dead ass go to work, come home, kick his feet up because he made some money, give his wife a little check so she'll be quiet, and then when
the wife is supposed to ride that dick at the end of the night.
And then when disciplinary things come with the kids, you'll have a little meeting with dad, and then he'll hand out his groundings, and then like you said, she's gonna bounce, 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 and then you're gonna go to bed. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. What's going? And that I even saw an article here. I'll send it to y'all. It even said back in the 1600s, even in the Renaissance, it says women were controlled by her parents from the day she is born until the day she is married. Then she would be handed directly to her husband so he could take over that role. I beg your MF pardon in 2022.
Yeah, I know. Like, I also like
this was in the 1600s. Women were still over here doing this stuff.
But when you think about it, in a wedding, they're like, who's giving this bride away? When you think about it, the pastor, the priest, whoever's doing it, they say, who's giving this bride away? And then it would usually be the parents, like, oh, we're giving her away. So that ties in and makes sense to what you're saying.
And in multiple cultures, this is a worldwide phenomenon where women have been seen as a certain type of way, and men have had to act this way, and women have had to act that way. And it's very much taught. It's taught.
Yeah, just like, because I have like a question that I typed into like Google, and it's, what is the purpose of gender roles? And the answer was to give individuals cues about what sort of behavior is believed to be appropriate for each sex.
Theory,
yes,
not
inappropriate.
Not for fact. This is theory. And if you want to stretch it, everything in this world is built upon a theory. There's no such thing as a fact, because who are you to say what is a fact?
Exactly.
Even the Big Bang was a theory. No, I'm joking.
So this is
Big Bang theory.
No, I got what you meant. That was a bar. Your bar was seen. It was heard.
Drop the mic. Walk away.
But very much to the principle of like, back then, even like, I think like my mind goes to, so dead ass if we're thinking, because like everything's theory is like, we go back and there was probably this man and this woman that got together. And even before money was a thing, money didn't even used to be a thing. The woman probably, because she wasn't built as physically strong, was seen to very much not be able to do things that a man could do, that was seen more important for society acceleration and growth. Not saying that it was necessary for humans and social functions and being able to interact with humans, but just for growth and advancement in society, men were able to do the hard grunt work, and then the woman would take care of the things. And then I think they both at the time were equal roles, but as time went on and money and stuff became more important, that stuff that you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I think they both started off equal, but we became an industrialized society based on money and income. And we started
then it
off
becomes
doing,
like whoever's
we had to build this world we live in.
Well, it's like, just take my relationship for instance. Like, definitely in the beginning, I feel like my girlfriend Brittany was like more of the breadwinner because she's a manager at Plato's Closet. She makes more than me. But as of September, I've been working 2 jobs. So now I make more than her because the one job is bi-weekly. So like every other week, I'm at least making COVID money again.
That part.
So now it's like, we don't really look at each other that way because it's like you got me, I got you type of thing. We're in this together. And so at the end of the day, we're both making money to build our lives better so that we don't have to be in the same place that we were like 5 years from now. So, but yeah.
Thank you very much. Our money is our money. We don't have this, that.
Yeah.
You know what? I know this is kind of maybe off topic, but I saw this one thing. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was like a Black man and a Black woman. He would come home from work. First thing he would do is give his wife his check because yes, he worked all day, made all that money, but when he came home, it went to her to take care of, do all the the financing, buy whatever she needs for the house. And he was like, and when you do all that, buy yourself a pair of shoes for just being my wife. She had more control of the money, even though he was the one making the money.
I was like that. That's so patronizing.
Why?
Because women are known to be bookkeepers and secretaries.
Right.
So why are you handing her the check like, here, baby, you handle this. I don't got time. Like,
hey,
the way my mind just clicked.
Why are you throwing your wife back at the office and home?
Like, I get it. It's demeaning to the women, but some women, including me, like sometimes I might be okay with that. Not all the time.
Because gender roles aren't a thing. You don't see it as that. But my ass, if I over here walked up to Elijah and I threw him a check, and he'd very much be like, the fuck you mean? You have your own bank account. You do it your damn self.
Yeah.
If you're not smart enough to manage your money, you shouldn't be with me, fam.
Yeah, that is true.
But
that
no,
is true.
I agree with you too, because I saw it that way. But then I always dig deeper, and I was like, damn, why'd you hand her that check though? Why didn't you do it?
Yeah. The way I think about it though is sometimes men, when you think about gender roles, women are more put together, men are more reckless. So a man with money would spend it on reckless things. He would give it to his woman and she would spend it on the more responsible things.
Like, have you ever seen a straight male go grocery shopping? Have you ever seen a straight male go grocery shopping?
By himself? No.
Oh, you should see what they bring back into the house. It's literally just like chips and dip, bread and milk and eggs, and
it's whatever the woman put on the list to give to him, and like, you go get it. The woman made the list. You just know it, because men, they'll get there, they'll be like, what the fuck? You gotta take a picture of it just so they can know exactly what you were talking about.
See, I can flip it, and I'm gonna be like, well, men were allowed to be reckless and loose with their money. Women weren't.
Right.
Because we didn't have that right then. We couldn't just do whatever we wanted.
Low-key, Black people got freedom and were allowed to vote, even though they had trials and stipulations to get it. They were allowed to vote before even women. We were allowed to go into the workforce even before women were. So it's very much like women were set back even farther.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when they did go in the work field, all they could do was secretaries, bookkeepers, nurses,
work.
Tending to other people. So it's very much like when they come home and do that, I'm very much like, that's a slap in the face, because like women are trained to do that. Their whole life is tend to others. And then when a woman want to boss up, they acting brand new or they extra. So it's just like,
Nothing brand new and extra.
Yeah.
Heard it.
But I mean, honestly though, like sometimes with women, they get a little bit of money, it goes to their head and they become power hungry. You know, we've seen it happen. And it's not just men that go crazy when they get a little bit of money.
You're right. We see the females with their Birkins.
Mm-hmm.
That part. See, me, I'm a good Walmart, Goodwill, Plato's Closet, rainbow kind of gal.
I'm bougie on a budget.
Yes, bougie on a budget. Like, I can dress, but my whole outfit might be from Goodwill, and you'll never know.
If you want to blow your whole check on some Gucci, you go ahead. I'm trying to get a house. I'm here for a long time, not a good time. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that goes again to Mr. Man. I think it was wrong for Mr. Man to hand that lady that check because you over here assuming, oh, she gonna do the books. But I see your side as in like, if I know she's gonna do it though, that like low-key she's smarter than me.
Yeah. Because maybe he just feels like he ain't capable. And he also was like, buy yourself a nice pair of shoes or a nice pair of pumps to go with it. But he know damn well she gonna buy herself a pair of pumps and she gonna be like, look, babe, look what I got. And he's gonna, it's a little treat back to himself. It goes full circle. You know what he was doing.
All right, let's go into like the mental health and men. I'm gonna give you your chance to tell your story before we get into some factual and other stuff. So go ahead, Justice.
Take the floor.
Oh gosh, okay. So basically, I wanted to do this for a while, very much like the whole mental health thing. Like, I find it difficult to talk about my feelings, even though I'm a Cancer still, and I'm supposed to be open and vocal about my feelings. I still find it difficult. So I sat there and I thought about it, even when I was little growing up. Like, my mom even very much was like, you don't cry in public. Mm-hmm. You do it in the house. You cry in the bedroom. But then my little sister was over here allowed to boo-hoo, act a hot mess. Like, there's certain like things that are placed upon like a man, and if you cry or if you feel a certain type of way, it's like seen as like less than, or as like a bitch boy, or you're automatically labeled as gay. Like a perfect example is Kim Fields' husband, who wanted to love on his wife from the Housewives of Atlanta. And he loved his wife and was there to coddle his wife's feelings and was in tune with his wife and loved his wife. As soon as the reunion hit, he was gay. Oh. So then when things like that happen and that gets broadcasted on like even national television, that shows the viewers that if you show your feelings and if you coddle and you love on your wife, you're going to be called a bitch boy. You're going to be called gay. You're going to be called this. You're going to be called that. So I feel like a lot of even dudes, like even like for myself personally, like when I would go to my mom and I'd be like, oh no, like I'm really upset because this kid bullied me. Justice, we're not doing this right now. If you want to cry, you go to the bedroom. You don't cry in public. You shove it down. But then I'd watch my sister be like, oh, mommy, this kid hurt my feeling. Oh, honey, what's wrong? I wanted a hug. I wanted a damn hug too.
Like, I want that too. Give it to me too.
Like, even little things like that. Like, you're even ingrained to raise your son and your daughter different, which you should. However, the human brain is still the human brain. Yeah. And the human brain is trainable. It's manageable. It's palleable. Your brain is a sponge. You absorb what you see. So if you over here seeing this person act this way and this person act that way, no matter, even if you are with a single mother or single father, if you have a emotionally available father, you're going to be emotionally available. If you have an unemotionally available father, I had an unemotionally available mother. I had a mom that's supposed to be cuckoo, but because she wasn't raised with cuckoo, because of going back due to generations, like she wasn't raised to be that way. So very much I was raised, like I've even found myself when I'm older, I'm emotionally unavailable sometimes. Like I find myself cold and sometimes very much like You need to sit back and reflect as to why it happened and make change and grow and evolve.
Mm-hmm.
These men are low-key ruined for generations.
Yeah.
And I'll just, you don't want to hug your wife in public and give her a little kiss, tell her it's okay because you're afraid that like your bro's not going to like it. Why do you care more about your bro's feelings than your own wife?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes me think like a lot.
But you want to call me a faggot, but you over here worried about your dude. But that's for another conversation. This is men versus mental health.
Yeah, I was just about to get into that too.
Yes, but very much like you can be emotionally available for your bros, but not your wife.
Yeah.
Because you think your wife's above you, but then again, we have the wives, so it'll be like, what you over here bitching and moaning for? Be a man, be a man. That's toxic too.
I hate that. I hate when people are like, oh, just be a man. Oh, just suck it up. Oh, just, shove it down. It's like, no, everybody has feelings. Huh?
The only thing that a man is having a penis.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Well,
who are you to say what is a man?
Well, yeah, that is true. What is a man?
Break it down. What is? But break it down on what is not taught. What is not taught? Break it down to even back when we were fucking cavemen. Man and woman, all they did genuinely was make fire and have sex and have offspring.
Yeah.
And even back then, everyone was sleeping with everybody. As soon as we got horny, we were just sleeping around with whatever would get us off.
Right.
What is a man? What is a man? When they say,
most men still do that.
Yeah, exactly. We
look
going
at Nick
backwards,
Cannon.
people. We going backwards. But
look at Nick Cannon.
What is
his 12th child?
What's be a man? What's it mean to you guys? Excuse me, to y'all.
I mean,
here we go again.
A man to me is just basically what society has taught us. But really, like if I think with my own brain, it's just somebody that just has a different genitalia than a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. And everything else that comes with the man is because it was preached to us BC, before Christ.
For real. I mean,
what
for
about
me,
you?
a man,
what's a man?
I don't know. I do have kind of the societal view, but it's also I am a little bit woke. Because it's like, when I think of a man, I think of, well, when I was going to say I'm straight. Ooh, I am bisexual-ish.
How you doing?
We're not going to get into it. Sorry.
We will later. After this episode, how you doing?
But I like men. And when I think of I want a man, I think of I want someone I can connect with, someone that I can rely on to like protect me if need be, like a protector. When I think of...
Can you protect yourself?
For podcast reasons, I'm gonna say yes.
Oh, yeah. Y'all mind your business.
Exactly.
Wait. Okay.
I only said that because we expect a man to do that, but can we protect our own selves? Very much.
More women need to learn how to protect themselves.
We all have our mates and our zappers. Don't play with us. Disclaimer.
Bitch, I'll tase your ass.
My hands are bisexual.
Huh?
How you doing? I
said my hands are bisexual.
Anybody can. My hands are pansexual because anybody can get it.
But yeah.
But when I think of like I want a man, I usually think of like a protector, someone I can rely on, somebody that'll listen to me, but also share their feelings with me. Like, I want that in a man. To me, that is manly. Being a man means being secure about yourself and your feelings. And even if you are insecure, being able to admit that to your person. Like, I see that as a plus. Most people in society would be like, oh, they being a bitch. I'm like, no, you're being human. You're showing your emotions, and that means a lot to me because that means I could trust you. But if I can't trust you to not be a psychopath and suck it up, like, I need you to not be a psychopath. basically. I need to know that you have feelings and you're not afraid to show those feelings. But I also want a protector, somebody I feel like that can be strong for not only themselves, but for me, because sometimes I'm not strong. And I don't mean a protector always physically, but mentally too.
Well, that
Because
also
I'm
goes
struggling.
back to like relationships. Not every single day in a relationship is it going to be 50-50. It might be like
99 and 1.
Yeah.
87 and 13.
And sometimes it's
47 and 50
to 0. Because sometimes you get in depressive episodes, or you might lose a job or something. And like, not everything is going to be exactly 50-50. Sometimes you're going to be doing way more than your other partner. And sometimes that's okay for that to happen, as long as you don't sit there and dwell in that moment.
And
let's say
when you
your man loses your job.
That's what I was just about to say. Like,
what now? What you paying the bills? Let's say you two, you have a man and he loses his job.
You stick by your man. You do what you gotta do.
You say that now. For how long you gonna stick by your man? What if you have your own place and those bills start raking in and you got to pick up that overtime? How long you gonna stick by him?
Obviously, for me, they would have to have a job too. Like,
what if they lose it? You said if they lose a job, what if they lose it?
They have to have some type of goals. If they lose their job, you find another one. Or you at least show that you're trying.
But that's what I was gonna say.
As long as like for 6 years.
Well, I was gonna say like
unemployment.
As long as they're showing signs of like trying, as long as they're trying, I can kind of rock with it until I get to my breaking point. But until I get there, then I'll have a conversation and we'll move differently. But if it takes like a year or two and I'm not quite there yet and I can kind of handle it on my own, as long as this person is actively trying and not bullshitting the fuck out of me, I can continue to support.
Now that I think about it, like, I was in a 5-year-long relationship and I broke up with him because I felt like he didn't have goals. He didn't want to go to college. He did not want to go to college. He refused to get a job. His uncle gave him a car, and you know what he said? Oh, I don't want to get my license. Like, he didn't want to do the process. He literally just wanted to stay at home and play video games. And I was like, I'm done with this. If you're not going to have any ambition for your life, if you're not going to try at least, like, I know I'm going to be successful, but are you? I want a power couple. I want to be in a power couple situation where we're both thriving and we got each other's back. If you lose your job, I got your back. If I lose my job, I would hope that you have my back as well, and we lift each other back up. I don't want it to be just you lose your job, so you feel like you lost everything, and now you're just going to sit back and lose yourself. I wouldn't let that happen. I wouldn't let them lose themselves. I would encourage them as best as I can. And, you know, if they show no signs of wanting to get out of that slump, if they show no signs, if they show no signs of wanting to get out that slump, but they seem like they're depressed, I would try to get them help. I would try that route first. And if getting them help helps them to get back up there to where they need to be, then so be it. You know, like, I would take different routes. It's not just, it's a gray area. It's not just one way or another, like pick and choose. Like, I would stand by my man.
And you also have to factor in how long have you been with this person? How well do you know this person? You have to
kids,
marriage,
you have to think about these things.
You have to see what their work ethic is before you just jump into a relationship with them. I also saw this thing that I want to touch on because I thought it was really interesting that I didn't know. It says men with testosterone, with low testosterone, find their emotional reserves are lower. Like, they find that their emotional reserves when they go to the doctors and stuff that are lower tend to be like, they have more of a shorter fuse. And maybe that's why as people get like what'd you say?
Ray J.
Yeah. And so like as like people like men get older, they basically lose their fuse because they're losing their testosterone. That's why you see like angry, grumpy old men.
Yeah, and we also have grumpy old Linda with her menopause.
Who the fuck, Linda?
I don't know her. We know her though.
Oh, there's always a Linda out there. Just like there's always a Karen.
I was gonna say Karen, but that's a slur now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's on the same level as the N-word, but that's again another conversation.
Wait, so calling someone a Karen is a slur now?
They've labeled it as a slur against white Karens.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw that shit?
Okay.
Don't call me Karen.
But real quick, I know Maika wants to ask you a question on this person.
Girl, we about to get into some things, child.
About to spill some tea, if you know what I mean.
No, you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. The bitches ain't gonna give it to you, right? I'd rather be your bitch.